Welcome to Leopard Farm, Alaska. Bear encounters aren't just a campfire thing. They're a part of life, whether you're in the quiet suburbs of Anchorage or in a remote village with no roads in or out. Black and grizzly bears are smart, strong, and blessed with noses that can sniff out dinner from miles away. When berries, salmon, or other natural foods become scarce, these bears won't hesitate to head into town in search of an easier meal. Trash cans, bird feeders, chicken coops, a cooler on the porch. Suddenly your backyard smells like an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's when things get serious. Communities, police, fish and game officials, and even hunters have to work together and get creative to keep people and bears safe. To give you an idea of how common this is, in 2010 alone, Alaska recorded 125 bear-related incidents in residential areas, most of which occurred in neighborhoods adjacent to forests, rivers, or ancient migration routes that bears have used for thousands of years. Although about 1 in 10 close encounters have potential to turn bad, hunters in Alaska went 6 consecutive years, 2010 to 2015, without a single serious bear injury. To prevent black bears from turning neighborhoods into all-you-can-eat buffets, the state has implemented carefully managed hunting programs around places like Fairbanks. These programs are not only meant to control populations, but also act as outdoor classrooms. Every hunter who wants to participate must undergo at least 40 hours of intensive, hands-on training beforehand. Picture this: a lifelike bear suddenly lunges at you 30 yards away, while an instructor yells signals. You have to read its body language in a split second, stay calm, and make the right decision, back off or stand your ground. Eventually, the hunters will leave knowing exactly how to handle themselves out there, making the woods safer for both bears and humans. In the endless wilderness of Alaska, where grizzly bears and moose rule the backcountry, professional hunters understand that success often shot from hundreds of yards away. That's why today's Alaskan hunters rely on precision long-range rifles equipped with advanced optics. It's not just shooting and praying. It's patience, reading the wind, aligning the barrel, and squeezing the trigger with a chill in your veins. Sparing the animal unnecessary suffering and avoiding a difficult situation with an angry bear or bull before you can get a shot. Distance is your friend here, and that's where long-range hunting skills really shine. But even the best rifles and scopes have their limits in this dense, harsh landscape. That's why more and more hunters and game managers are turning to elite hunting dogs, hardy, disciplined pooches who can turn a nightmarish stalk into a controlled hunt. These dogs aren't pets. They're four-legged professionals trained to trap, bark, and capture tree bears in places no sane person would want to wander alone. Depending on the country and the size of the management unit, the team typically has between 5 and 7 dogs. Their job is simple but brutal. Push the bear out of the oak and raspberry bushes, lead it to an open space, or force it up a spruce tree, where it becomes trapped and the hunter has all the time.
Got him.
Once the bear is up the tree, the chaos stops. The dogs hold it there, barking like crazy, while the hunter remains calm, safe, and in complete control. It's the gold standard for catching problem bears or completing a mission without turning the hunt into a
Nice shot. Nice shot, dude.
Alaska doesn't mess around when it comes to dog hunting. In fact, the state's hound organizations enforce some of the strictest standards you'll find anywhere in the lower 48
Nice
states.
shot!
Each dog must undergo at least 6 months of rigorous training before even seeing a real bear. We're talking about tracking closely, learning to bark in specific patterns so the handler knows exactly what's happening 200 yards away in the Devil's Club, flying wide circles to hold a bear without routing it, and most importantly, absolute obedience when a 900-pound coastal brown bear is charging and adrenaline is running high. One broken command can turn a controlled hunt into a disaster, so these dogs are trained under pressure until they're nearly unstoppable. A handler has to be worthy of the title, too. You can't just buy a couple of Karelian bear dogs and call yourself a bear hunter in Alaska. Most teams require at least 2 full seasons, often more, proven field experience before you're trusted to lead a pack on a bear hunt or even called up as a manager. You have to know each dog like a book, know every bark and tail wag, and shoot straight while 8 dogs are frantically running under a tree. It's a brotherhood built on skill, not ego, because here, life and death are the 2 vital elements, for the bears, for the dogs, and for you. Hello everyone, welcome to the Leopard Farm channel. Picture this, the deep, chilling roar of a lion cutting through the African savanna at night, a stark warning of trouble on the horizon. With escalating attacks leading to heartbreaking losses of life and livelihoods, it begs the question, do we have to resort to hunting these majestic beasts, or is there a smarter, more balanced way to coexist? Dive into our latest video for the straight scoop on tackling the threats from these encroaching predators. Out in the rugged hills of Botswana, rural folks on the edge of wild woodlands are dealing with a growing shadow of fear from these bold big cats. Just last year, in 2023, the country saw over 50 lion raids on livestock, racking up damages north of $40,000. Even scarier, there were 3 confirmed close calls with people, though thankfully everyone walked away unscathed. As lions push beyond their usual haunts into human turf, the big dilemma hits home. Can we find a way to share the land peacefully, or are we headed for an inevitable showdown? Why are lions increasingly venturing into human territory in Botswana? Factors like climate change, rampant deforestation, and dwindling populations of their natural prey are pushing these majestic cats out of their highland habitats and straight into lowland communities where people live. Left with few options, these stealthy hunters are growing more audacious, striking under the cover of darkness. Wildlife experts point out that it's our own meddling with the environment that's backed these animals into a corner, turning peaceful coexistence into a dangerous standoff. In response to this growing conflict, regulated lion hunting has emerged as a necessary tool for wildlife management in Botswana. But the government keeps a tight rein on it. No blanket culls allowed. Every hunting permit comes with a thorough environmental review to gauge the actual threat level. Hunters typically arm themselves with powerful rifles and calibers ranging from .220 to .375, equipped with scopes offering about 3 feet of eye relief, allowing them to maintain a safe buffer of 150 to 300 feet and dodge any sudden charges. A well-placed shot ensures a quick and humane end, but the big question remains, does this approach truly dial down the dangers, or is it just kicking the can down the road? Getting a lion hunting license in Botswana isn't cheap. It'll set you back anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. But it's not just about the money. Each one requires hands-on training in wildlife conservation principles and safe firearm handling to ensure hunters are doing things right. Slip up by not reporting your hunt properly, and you could lose your license for good. The 2023 government report lays it out clear. They'll cap licenses at 80 per year max, striking a balance between keeping lion numbers in check and preserving the natural ecosystem without tipping the scales too far. Looking beyond hunting to ease the pressure, locals are stepping up with smarter defenses. Authorities recommend erecting tall electric fences and setting up motion-activated lights around homes and villages to keep these big cats at bay. On top of that, community night watches armed with bright flashlights and piercing whistles are hitting the streets to spot and spook lions before they get too close. The payoff? A Botswana Department of Wildlife and National Park survey shows that after rolling out these measures, lion attacks dropped by almost 30% in the first year alone, proof that prevention can pack a real punch. We've got every right to safeguard our families and communities, but let's not lose sight of the fact that wildlife deserves its shot at survival too. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, hit that subscribe button to keep tabs on the evolving story out of Botswana.
The 2024 Agriculture and Livestock Report paints a grim picture. Feral pigs are costing the U.S. a staggering $2.5 billion in damages every year. From cornfields to peanut farms, these hogs tear through crops like a tornado, leaving devastation in their wake. The southeastern states, especially Texas, are hit hardest, with the Lone Star